Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Rough Rider, where every week I talk about writing, self publishing, and living in a barely literate society. Today I'm going to be talking about author websites and 6 important elements that should be on yours. So, first off, why should you even have an author website when you can just have social media? Well, every business pretty much has a website now. So, having a website yourself will give you a sense of legitimacy because, as a self publishing author, you really are kind of a small business owner. You're putting a product out there that you were trying to get people to buy, and you're handling all the marketing yourself and all the promotion. So, you're kind of running a business. So, having a website will put you in league with all the other business owners. A website is also more professional looking than like a simple Facebook page. I think a big reason to have a website is that you have a lot more control over the design of it. With a social media profile, you can only customize it so much, but a website, you really have a space that you can do whatever you want with, and you can really make it your own. Okay, so what are the 6 things that you should put on your author website? So the number one thing that you should put on your author website is a list of your written work. So this one's kind of a no-brainer. I think it's pretty obvious, but you should definitely include every book that you've ever published. So ones that are available for sale right now, and then also ones available for pre-order. You should include an image of the cover, and then also use your product description or your back cover blurb. You should also include links to Amazon and other retailers or distributors where a reader could get your book. And if you'd like, you can also pull some reviews from Amazon or anywhere that your book has been reviewed, and you can include it on the page for it. Basically, just having a list of all of the books that are available to a reader is a really basic but important thing to have on your author website. It is, after all, your website for your work, so of course you want to have a list of it there. The second thing that you should have on your author website is an author biography. This is your chance to really introduce yourself to the world and let everyone know who you really are. And while you might have social media accounts, you only have so much space in your profile description on social media to really say anything meaningful. Having an author biography on your website gives you as much space as you need to really tell everyone about yourself. For the biography itself, you can either use the About the Author page that you already use in your self-published books at the end, or you can write a totally different one for your website. It's up to you. You should also try to include a good headshot of yourself if you have one, or at least just a professional looking picture and not just some trashy selfie. The third thing that you're going to want to have on your author website is your contact information. This is a place for you to let readers know how they can get in contact with you to give you feedback or just honestly fan mail. At the very least, you should include an email address, and you can just make a free one like a Gmail or something else and just use that, because I assume you're probably not going to want to use your personal email for this. Personally, I wouldn't put a phone number or anything because I don't really see any reason to, but you could if you have like a Google Voice number or something separate from your personal phone. You could also include a submission form on that contact info page, so that way the person who wants to contact you can just type something in directly on your website and submit it there. Basically, you just want to give people a way to get in contact with you other than just DMing you on social media. And speaking of social media, the fourth thing that you should include on your author website is a list of all of your social media profiles. You could combine this, I guess, with your contact page because this is sort of an extension of that, or you could keep it as its own separate thing. Depending on what website builder you're using, you may even be able to pull photos from Instagram or something and have them as sort of a gallery on this social media page on your website. I think putting links to your social media is also really important. If you use social media primarily as a news feed for your readers to get updates, then you're going to want everyone to know what other social media sites they could find you on. You know, someone might be following you on Instagram, but then they don't know what your Twitter handle is, or they don't know the web address for your Facebook page. So having all of this in one place is a way for people to find you on different platforms and start following you in multiple places. Now, the fifth thing that you're going to want to have on your author website, and this won't apply for everyone, but some people might, is links to your book merch. So obviously this is only if you have merch. If you don't, then ignore all of this. But if you have like t-shirts or hats or any sort of product that is linked to your book or your book series, then you should provide links to that on your author website. Depending on the website builder you use, you might have the opportunity to sell directly from your website. I personally find that to be too much work, and I just have, when you click on the merch page on my website, it just goes right to an external site, the print on demand service that I use for that merch. But no matter if you decide to sell on your website or just link to a third-party site, it's still an important element that you should include on your author website. And then the sixth thing that you should include on your author website is a blog or a news feed. I don't think it's a bad idea to start a blog if you're an indie author. It's a place for you to talk about writing and to give updates to your readers and your followers. You can talk about upcoming events or promotions or pre-orders that are going to be available soon. And depending on what you write about in your blog, you can also have a lot of opportunities to plug your book, but in context, not just like a random sales pitch, but in the context of a greater subject. You also could theoretically monetize your blog and make money off of it, so that's always nice. A blog is just overall a good way to introduce people to your writing style and your content that you put out. But even if you don't want to or just can't add all of these elements to your author website, you should still have an author website to begin with. They look more professional than a Facebook page, and in this day and age, pretty much every business has a website, so you should be included in that too. A website is also a little more stable, I guess, than social media. It's more consistent, so it's a place where people can get all of the information in one spot instead of having to scroll through months and months of social media posts to learn more about you. So if you're interested in reading more about this, you can check out my blog for the full blog post on this subject. There's a link in the description below. So if you found this helpful, make sure to like and subscribe, follow me on social media, and as always, thank you for watching. God bless.